Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be sort of a first trimester kind of update. I did plan to film weekly, but as I've mentioned in my video that I posted a few days ago, if you haven't watched it I will leave the link below. We had a lot going on, so I wasn't able to film every week like I wanted to. So I am currently 18 weeks pregnant, but I'm going to be talking about the first 12 weeks, how I was feeling, what went on and all that sort of stuff. Again, I won't really go into how I found out I was pregnant or anything like that. You can watch that in my previous video. But yeah, I started having a lot of pain and discomfort, which I had in my second pregnancy with my son, and I got referred to the early pregnancy unit. Basically, a quick recap: in my second pregnancy I had lots of pain on my left side and they thought it was ectopic. When I got there, it turned out I was actually carrying two sacs. One had Charlie and the other one was empty, like the baby wasn't growing. So they think it was my body's way of trying to get rid of the baby that sadly didn't amount to anything. So they were concerned that that was happening again. So I got referred, but everything was fine. On the first scan, actually, they couldn't find anything. They said, we think you're pregnant, but like your lining's thick, but there's no sac, there's no nothing. So at first I was like, oh my god, like maybe I'm not pregnant or anything. But as I mentioned in my previous video, after going once again, I think I ended up going about 3 or 4 times, and they kept scanning me until they could see the baby and found the heartbeat. I basically wasn't as far along as my dates had worked out. I have really irregular periods anyway, and I think they worked out that I was having a 37-day cycle. So it meant I ovulated really late. So they actually dated me about 6 or 7 days behind what my typical 28-day cycle period dates were. But yeah, after I got to about 7 weeks, I didn't get scanned anymore, everything was fine. I would say about pretty much from about 4 or 5 weeks I started vomiting. When I hit about 8 weeks it really kicked up a notch. It started off kind of like once or twice a week, and then it was getting to every single day. It was actually the evening that was worse for me than the morning, and I barely ate anything. I actually lost some weight. It was awful. There were times where I was violently being sick for hours in the evenings, and sometimes I thought, surely this is a bug, like this cannot be pregnancy. I had sickness with my other two, but nothing like this one. But without going too much into the second trimester, by about 14 weeks it had stopped, but it was getting to the point where it really changed like my mood and just how I felt about the pregnancy and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm very pleased to say that that bit has ended. Once the sickness really kind of fully kicked in, that kind of really made me feel a bit and I wasn't a happy person. Throw in some serious fatigue. Like my husband joked that basically it got to like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and that would be me for the afternoon. For 2 or 3 hours I would fall asleep. Mummy, I was falling. Yes, sorry, that's my daughter. Yeah, it would get to a point where I was falling asleep sitting up at the table. I would fall asleep every car journey we did. So with my husband working away and when I was with the kids on my own and the dog, I found it really, really hard. But that has started to get a bit easier now. But yeah, aside from really bad sickness and the fatigue, my first trimester was okay really. We had a private scan around 10.5 weeks because I was going to a blogger event and it was for like mums to be, so I just wanted to have a scan just to make sure everything was alright. But by my dates I thought I was 12 weeks, but turned out it wasn't. And then yeah, we saw baby at 12 weeks and everything was fine and baby's growing really well. I won't touch on it too much in this video, but because I conceived in Florida, there is a slight Zika worry. I will do a whole video on that because I am actually awaiting my results, so I'll kind of do the video then when I know a bit more. But yeah, so I had to have some extra bloods, and I've probably got to have some more bloods and some scans, but they're not too worried about it at the moment, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I think that's kind of everything really. I'd say maybe by about week 8, my hips started to like get a bit sore and a bit achy, like the kind of pelvic girdle pain. I didn't have it in my first pregnancy, but I did in my second. It's kind of agony now, but again, I will go into that in other videos. But yeah, in terms of first trimester, baby brain. In terms of first trimester, it wasn't too bad if you take out the sickness and the fatigue. I know some women have a real rough ride with it, but I think it was just pretty standard textbook pregnancy stuff, you know, the aches, the pains, the round ligament pain, the stretching, all of that kind of fun stuff. If you've had more than one baby, you will probably know that it tends to get slightly more painful the more babies you have, and you feel it a little bit sooner. I definitely started popping out very, very early. I won't show my bump today because this is kind of like an 18-week bump, but if you follow me on Instagram or read my blog posts, I'll leave them all linked below. I've been trying to kind of post regular bump photos so you can kind of see how I have been growing over the last few weeks. But yeah, I think that's kind of it really for the first trimester. It kind of feels like a lifetime ago now, and I'm so glad I'm out of it, and I'm definitely feeling loads better. But I'm hoping now that I can kind of catch up with myself. I'm going to do like a 12 to sort of 16-week pregnancy video, and then I'm going to try and do sort of 16 to 18, or I might include 12 up to 18, but then from sort of 20 weeks onwards, I feel like, yeah, these will get a little bit more regular. I may do sort of every few weeks, because I think sometimes the later on you get, you kind of, there's not really much to report really, so maybe like every 4 weeks, but there'll be lots of like bump shots and yeah, more stuff about baby, the size of baby and all of that kind of stuff in my next sort of pregnancy update. But this will be my last baby, sadly, although my husband keeps joking about trying for another one, but I think he's definitely joking because I'm not doing this again. So I definitely want to have something to look back on and remember and be able to show the baby. And I really wish that, yeah, I kind of done this with my other two really. I think it would just be really nice, but I will be including them in the videos as well, so it would just be a really nice kind of online diary of my third and final pregnancy. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more pregnancy updates from me, please click the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you've liked it. It does mean the world to me to read your comments and see that you've liked my video, and of course that you're subscribing. It means that I'm not boring people and that you actually find me interesting. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.